The U.S. Navy has released footage of a huge joint show of force. The assets included 2 carrier strike groups, 2 amphibious ready groups, and a helicopter destroyer from the Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force, JMSDF. The U.S. Department of Defense said the 2 U.S. Navy carrier strike groups, led by their flagships USS Carl Vinson and USS Abraham Lincoln, had begun operations in the South China Sea. Japan's JS Hyūga and JS Myoko was also involved in the operation. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes how the US and Japan has displayed their intent to China by deploying frontline assets in the South China Sea. Let's get into the details. This video is sponsored by War Thunder. If you are, like us, fascinated by military vehicles and technology, I recommend you give War Thunder a try. It's a military vehicle combat game which you can download and play for free on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with cross-platform support. It has a huge variety of more than 1,200 playable aircraft, tanks, helicopters, and ships from the 1930s to the 1990s, which you can take to battle on land, in the air, and at sea on more than 80 theaters of war. War Thunder's been kind enough to offer all Defense Updates viewers a special bonus, which will grant you a free premium tank, aircraft, or ship, and 3 days of premium account time for registering using our link in the description below. So take the plunge and join more than 20 million players from around the world. The U.S. Navy's dual carrier operations in the South China Sea seem to be triggered by recent Chinese activities. Taiwan reported 2 more large Chinese incursions into its ADIZ, or Air Defense Identification Zone, recently. On January 23rd, the Chinese sent a total of 39 aircraft through the southwestern corner of Taiwan's ADIZ, including 2 Y-9G electronic warfare aircraft, 10 Chengdu J-10 multi-role fighters, 24 tandem-seat J-16 fighters, a pair of Shanji Y-8 E-Lint aircraft, and a Jian H-6 bomber. Taiwan has complained for more than a year of repeated missions by China's Air Force near the democratically governed island, most frequently targeting the southwestern part of its ADIZ, close to the Taiwan-controlled Pratas Islands. Taiwan calls China's repeated nearby military activities gray zone warfare, designed to both wear out Taiwan's forces by making them repeatedly scramble and also test Taiwan's responses. As per U.S. Navy, CSG-1 currently includes aircraft carrier USS Carl Vinson, CVN-70, with embarked carrier Air Wing, CVW-2, Ticonderoga-class guided missile cruiser USS Lake Champlain, CG-57, Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyers USS Stockdale, DDG-106, and USS Chaffee, DDG-90, replenishing ships USNS Yukon, TAO-202, and dry cargo and ammunition ship USNS Washington Chambers, TAKE-11. CSG-3 includes USS Abraham Lincoln, CVN-72, with embarked carrier Air Wing, CVW-9, Ticonderoga-class USS Mobile Bay, CG-53, and Arleigh Burke-class destroyers USS Fitzgerald, DDG-62, USS Gridley, DDG-101, USS Sampson, DDG-102, and USS Spruance, DDG-111. The 2 amphibious assault ships are USS America and USS Essex. USS America, LHD-6, is the lead ship of the America-class amphibious assault ship, whereas USS Essex, LHD-2, is a Wasp-class landing helicopter dock. Rear Admiral Dan Martin, commander of CSG-1, says the dual-carrier operation highlights the U.S. Navy's ability to deliver overwhelming maritime force when called upon to support a free and open Indo-Pacific region, and shows the service's commitment to deterring those who challenge the shared vision of a free and open Indo-Pacific now and into the long-term future. Rear Admiral J.T. Anderson, commander of CSG-3, says that the operation is intended to improve our combat credible capability, reassure our allies and partners, and demonstrate our resolve as a Navy to ensure regional stability and counter malign influence. Vice Admiral Carl Thomas, commander, U.S. 7th Fleet, in a Facebook post dated January 22nd, stated, "Nothing reaffirms our commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific like 2 carrier strike groups, 2 amphibious ready groups sailing alongside our close friends from the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force." JS Hyūga DDH-181 is the lead ship of the Hyūga-class helicopter destroyers of the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force. In addition to advanced command and control capabilities, the ship itself has powerful anti-submarine and anti-aircraft combat capabilities due to the vertical launch system that can launch anti-submarine and anti-aircraft missiles and the newly developed C-4 I-STAR system. The warship can technically carry STOVL aircraft like F-35C and act as a light aircraft carrier with certain modifications. JS Myoko DDG-175 is a guided missile destroyer. China has stepped up pressure on Taiwan to accept its sovereignty claims. Taiwan's government has time and again stated that it wants peace but will defend itself if attacked. The U.S. and Japan have indicated that they will not sit back while China tries to impose its will on Taiwanese people by force. Nimitz-class carriers have been the face of the U.S. Navy and have enabled power projection far off from the American homeland. Over the years, China has built a number of military installations in the reclaimed islands in the SCS and deployed a large fleet of its naval ships and submarines to dominate the region. The U.S. Navy's presence, along with the Japanese fleet, is a major problem for Chinese strategists, and there's no way around this, with the U.S. increasing its focus in the Indo-Pacific, much to the dismay of China.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.